guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited because today I wanted to do a bridal tutorial. I really just did a smoked out gold shimmery kind of look. This is like a go-to look that brides usually ask for, where they have a little bit of that shimmer so they can still feel a little glam, but it's not over the top and dark. So if you want to see how I got this look, then keep on watching. I already prepped my skin and I'm using the Take a Deep Breath by Philosophy. And this is a really good moisturizer. It's oil-free and it's pretty good on sensitive skin. So this is a good basic moisturizer that you can really use on any type of skin. You want to make sure that whatever moisturizer you use for the day of the wedding is something that's not going to bother your skin. Big tip is to make sure that you stay away from SPF on wedding days. I know that it's so important to use an SPF, and I definitely use an SPF moisturizer on the daily during the day. But because of pictures, and you're going to be in a ton of pictures, and you want to make sure that if you use an SPF, it will cause a lot of flashback. Okay, so after my moisturizer is on the skin and soaked in and everything, gave it a couple minutes, I'm going to start going in with primer. You know what kind of skin you have, so just be aware of what kind of primers you're using. You definitely want to use a primer for wedding day because that's like your double-sided tape. It will definitely help a lot with lasting longer. When you go to a wedding or when you're in a wedding, you're probably going to get your makeup done by like anywhere from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m., something like that, and usually ceremonies aren't until after 4 o'clock. So just keep that in mind, that use a primer, use a setting spray, all that, but we'll get into that. So today I'm using the Professionals primer. I normally have really dry skin, but it's summertime right now. I'm really tan, so I don't need to really worry about using a hydrating primer or a glowy primer because I kind of already have that natural glow when I'm tan. So that's kind of the struggle that I have in the summer. Is if you follow me on Instagram, you saw that I really don't wear any makeup in the summer. Like, I wear eyebrows and I wear mascara, but that's pretty much it. So it's gonna be a little bit tough for me with these weddings that I'm in because I'm like, I don't ever do a full face of makeup in the summer. So I'm really trying to play around with different foundations because you guys know if you get a lot of color in the summer that you can't go in with the same foundation you used in the winter. You just can't. It doesn't match, doesn't look right. Even the bronzer I've found can have a really cool tone or like ashy undertone, and that does not look good. So kind of trial and error, and that's really why I have a wedding in 2 days that I'm in. And I'm excited because it's the first one I'm in, but I'm trying to play around with this makeup and figure out, you know, what really works for my skin because I'm tan and I don't normally do that when I'm tan. So as you saw, I just kind of pressed in that primer there. And then for foundation, I'm going to go in with the Maybelline Fit Me foundation. And this is the matte poreless one. And honestly, guys, I use this on every single person. Like, I have my makeup kit right next to me that I use when I go and do weddings. And this is the foundation I use for everyone. And I have found that it works, it lasts, and it's a very inexpensive foundation. So very good foundation if you need one. Right now, I'm going to try out the color 228, and we're going to see if this works. So I'm using my Morphe M439 brush. And I'm going to just do a little bit of this first. And it looks like it's going to be pretty good. Remember, I mean, we can always go in with concealer if we need to lighten it up a little bit, but this is actually perfect for me right now. So what I'm going to do is I tested a little bit out and it matches really well. So I'm going to go in with the Lumi Glotion by L'Oreal, and this is the color 902. I believe this is the second color. And I'm going to add a little bit of this on the high points of my face. I really want to have a nice glow. I don't want to look oily or anything like that, but I do want to have a very nice glow at the high points of my face. So I really like this stuff because it's very subtle. It's not too much, but if you kind of mix it in with your foundation, it looks really pretty. You are doing your foundation, especially on a big day like this, you want to bring it down your neck because a lot of the times, even in pictures, you are going to be showing your entire chest and neck area. So depending on like the dress that you have. So you want to make sure that you are bringing it all the way down. And again, depending on the type of dress, you want to be doing your chest as well. You want to make sure that everything matches and is covered. I went ahead and finished the face, and then I brought it down my neck and a little bit over on my chest. This is also actually a really good foundation because I'm just adding a little bit more, and you can double it up and layer it up and it won't look cakey at all. So if you need a little bit more coverage in a certain spot, you can easily just add a little bit more with this foundation and it won't look bad at all. I'm happy with the way that this color matched, because the other colors that I normally am, like this in the winter is the color that I normally am, and this is the color that I am right now. So you can see I have a completely different color. I'm usually 128 and this is 228. So I'm going to go in with concealer, and my favorite concealer is the Born This Way Too Faced concealer, but I also really do like the Tarte Shape Tape concealer, so I'm going to probably mix the two, because this is in the color tan, which is really dark, and then this is in the color light beige. So I may, if I need to lighten it up a little bit, add the Too Faced concealer. And I'm just going to go ahead and put this under my eyes. And I do it in like a triangle type of shape, really making sure that you get really close to the lower lash line with this. And then I usually do it right down the center, especially in between my eyebrows. I get a lot of congestion there with eyebrow hairs and pimples and whatnot, so make sure that you get in there as well. And then I'm going to use my dampened beauty blender and blend out this whole thing. It's been a really long time since I used the pink beauty blender, but I got it in my FabFitFun box a while ago, and I was saving it, I don't know for what, but I decided I'm gonna break it out and use it again, because I know I like it. I love beauty blenders. I've tried the Real Techniques one, the orange one, and it's really hard, and it's big, so I feel like I can't really get in the corners of my eyes as much as I would want to, so I really haven't used it. I've tried Morphe, I've tried a bunch, but I seem to always go back to the beauty blender. I may go in with a little bit of the lighter concealer, but I'm not going to go in with too much, because again, in pictures you don't want to have that like really light under eye. It doesn't look good. I normally just go right over my eyelids, but right now I'm trying to avoid doing anything to the eyelids, because I'm going to use a primer that will cover up the veins and discolorization on my eyelids. But you can do foundation and concealer and just add it to your eyelids if you want as your primer. You can, but I figured I'm going to skip that for today. I'm going to go in with a little bit of that lighter concealer, and then I'm going to go in with a little buffing brush and really get in the corners of my eyes and underneath my lower lash line, because I feel like the beauty blender can't get in there as well as I would want it to. And this is the Morphe M173 brush. Still using this one. This is a really good brush if you need to get under the eyes for concealer. It's really good. Alright, I'm liking that. To set my under eyes, I'm going to go in with the Velvetizer Urban Decay. I cannot speak highly enough of this product. I don't even have oily skin. I have actually dry skin, and it still works great on me. My friend has oily skin and uses it, and it like stops her from, you know, the oil from peeking out throughout the day. So this is a great product if you have oily skin, dry skin, whatever. I really like it. It's very, very fine. So it's not like you're caking on a ton of makeup. It's really nice. And then I'm just going to go press this in under my eyes. I'm not going to fully bake, but I am a little bit, because for pictures, you want to make sure that everything is set. You're going to be wearing this makeup for over 8 hours. Probably over like 12 hours. I didn't actually do the math, but a really long time. So you want to make sure that your makeup is set in place. You're not going to be creasing throughout the day. If you're oily, you want to make sure that you're not getting oily throughout the day. And then I'm going to just press whatever's left over on my sponge here and just do down the center of my face. Wherever I put that concealer is where I'm going to press in the powder. And you want to press it in. You don't want to swipe, because then you're just going to move all the product around that you just put on. I'm actually going to add a little bit more my smile lines. This is totally optional, but I really get creases in the smile line. So now that I look like a total weirdo, I'm going to use a bronzer next. And normally I use the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil powder, but I'm going to go with the Hoola Caramel by Benefit, because I am a little darker, and I found that the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil is a little bit ashy, and we don't want that. And I'm just going to start by putting this on the temples of my forehead, and then connect everything. And then blend it a little bit in with that concealer. We're not placing it where the concealer was, but you want to blend it all together so you don't have that harsh line. Now, I'm not contouring but I'm putting it where I would contour and just kind of warming up the outside of my face. I'm not adding too much because, again, I'm really tan, so it's not like I need to overload any bronzer on me. I'm going to wipe away all of this powder because I really don't want to bake a lot. I just kind of wanted to keep it settled in place, the concealer. I'm going to contour. I'm going to use the MAC Blunt, my usual contour. I'm going to use a Morphe 401 brush. I'm going to go a little bit heavier than usual on the contour because I want it to last, I want it to be noticeable in pictures, and I don't want it to wear off throughout the night. So you always want to use a little bit more of a heavier hand when it comes to doing wedding makeup because you're wearing it for so long and because you want to notice it in pictures. Because think about it, if you are doing your makeup at 8 a.m. and you're not taking pictures or the ceremony's not till 6 o'clock, it's going to wear off a little bit. No matter how much setting spray you use or powder, it's not going to all completely come off, but it will a little bit, like, kind of wear off. So you want to go a little bit heavier because think about it, you're going to be eating, you're going to be drinking, you're going to be talking, and you're going to be doing a lot before the actual ceremony. So don't be scared to go a little bit heavier than normal. For blush, I'm going to use the MAC See Me, Hear Me Extra Dimension blush. Now, this was a limited edition blush, but I think the color itself, maybe they changed the name, but I think you can still get a similar color, or if not the same exact color. But see how it's a little bit like spongy? It's not really a powder blush, and I like that because it will stick to the skin so much better than a powder will. Now, you can still use a powder, but this will kind of just go into the skin a little bit better and last. And I do like this color because it is very pink and noticeable, and it has a little bit of a sheen to it. So it's just really pretty of a blush, and I do like it, and I feel like it looks good on a lot, like all skin tones. So it's kind of personal preference when it comes to highlighter. I'm going to use the Amrezy highlighter because it has a really nice gold undertone. Urban Decay Afterglow, and this is in the color Sin. This is really pretty if you have lighter skin because it gives a really nice highlight, but it's not that golden undertoned. I'm going to use a Morphe 501 brush, and this is my highlighter brush. And then I usually spritz my highlighter brush with a little Fix Plus, and this just adds, kind of makes it wet so that way it shows up a little bit better. And then I'm putting this on the high points of my cheek, a little bit above the eyebrow, and the tip of my nose. I'm not going to do like up here or anything because I don't want it to look oily in pictures. And then I'll do my Cupid's bow. But I'm going to skip the chin and the center of my forehead. Since my face is done, I'm going to do eyebrows next. And I'm going to first just kind of give them a little comb so all the hairs are in the right place. And then I'm going to go in with the NYX Micro Brow Pencil in the color Taupe. And this one's really cheap. So I've been using this one, and I'm just going to start by kind of filling in the sparse areas of my eyebrows. So that's all I do for that. I keep it very, very simple because I just kind of want to fill it in. And then I use the Dip Brow in Soft Brown. I'm still using this. I know, I feel like nobody uses Dip Brow anymore, but since I have like those bald patches on my eyebrows, this is the only thing that I found that really sticks to my skin and doesn't come off. I do the center of the brow, and then I bring it down, and then I kind of just take whatever's left on my brush and flick it through the fronts of my brows, but I don't add any more product at all in the front of my brows. And then I'm going to set it with the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter. This stuff is really good. You don't need a lot of it at all. I always wipe it off a ton and then go in and use it, and I still feel like I could use less. Before you're in a wedding, please make sure you do your normal brow routine, whether that's getting them waxed, threaded, pluck them yourself, do whatever you need to do. You don't want to over pluck, but definitely clean them up because you don't want to put makeup over that. It won't really look right. And I'm going to go in and just kind of carve out my eyebrows a little bit with some concealer and an M124 brush. This is just really little brush, and I'm just going to clean up a little bit underneath. I forgot to mention, if you hear that buzzing, I'm so sorry, but it's really hot in here and I have to have a fan on because my air conditioner does not reach to my room. This is always a step that I never feel like doing, but every time I do it, I just notice how much better they look. For primer, I'm using my Painterly Paint Pot from MAC, and I'm just going to go ahead and put this with a brush all over my lid, and this really takes away any of the veins or discolorization on your eyelids. Now, I totally could be using a darker primer, When I am lighter in the winter, this matches me perfect, but that's okay because we can just go over it with a powder to kind of deepen it up a little bit. For this whole eyeshadow look, I'm going to be using the Morphe 350 palette. I was inspired by a Carly Bible picture, and this is actually a really old picture from like April, but I really like the way that her eyeshadow looks. It's very warm tone, smoked out gold, and then she has some shimmer. I'm not going to do too much shimmer because the wedding that I'm in, the bride wants it to be a little bit more natural. So I want to do some shimmer, but I'm not going to do any actual glitter, which I have done on brides, and they love that, especially for pictures. I'm going to go in with just a basic matte tan color, and I'm going to put this all over that primer to really set it. And make sure that after you put a primer on, you are pressing the product and not swiping it, because you want to set it on the product. You don't want to move anything around. And then to deepen up the crease, I'm going to use this deeper matte color, and then I'm focusing this color more onto the crease. I'm going to go in with this bottom brown here, and this is the 4th shade in. Still sticking with matte tones in the crease. Focus the darker shades on the outside V of the eye and then bring it into the crease, but you don't want to bring any deep shades in the inner corner. A little bit more with that tan shade that we use as the base. You want to just make sure you blend the crap out of it. Like, you don't want a harsh line. I can't stand when I see that people have a harsh line of color on their eyes. Make sure that you are constantly blending out, whether it's with a clean brush or you add more of that transition shade. Just blend your eyeshadow. For the main lid, I'm going to use this 3rd color in, and this is a really pretty shimmery color. And I'm going to try it with a brush first, but I think that this always looks better with my finger. But we're going to try it with a brush, and this is the Morphe M224, and then I'm going to add Fix Plus to it. Oh my god, that's pretty. Alright, I don't need to use my finger, and I'm going to be careful, but I'm bringing it all the way into that inner corner on the lid, and then I'm only bringing it to the center of the lid. I just brought it into that deeper color just by patting it a little bit to blend it all together, but you don't want to add too much product where you just put that deeper shade. That's pretty much all I'm going to do with the eyeshadow. Now, what I normally would do is add a little bit of this Midnight Cowboy Urban Decay glitter to just kind of sparsely on the top. Actually, let's do it. Usually just put a little bit of this right on the center. Don't go crazy with this. Don't be putting it all over. But you can see the difference here with the glitter and without the glitter. Now with the flat brush, I'm going to use the M410. Just something that's like really flat that you can use underneath the eye. I'm going to go in with that deeper shade and put it right underneath the lower lash line. Not too much, because you don't want to make your eyes look closed, but you want to blend everything together with the top and the bottom. Going in with that light transition shade just to blend everything together real nicely. With the 2nd color in the palette, I'm going to use that to highlight the inner corner and the brow bone. I'm going to use a little bit of eyeliner because I'm going to be using false lashes on the day of the wedding. I know a lot of people are like scared of lashes, but definitely I would not skip this step because it makes such a difference in pictures. So I'm not going to put them on myself today for the video just because honestly, I can't put them on myself. When you use false lashes, you definitely want to do a top eyeliner. It doesn't have to be a really big dark line, but you want to make sure that you do a top eyeliner because they blend everything together with the lashes and your eyes, and then that way you don't really see the strip lash. For top eyeliner, I'm going to use Urban Decay's Stag in the 24/7 Glide On Pencil. See how that top eyeliner really just opens up the eyes so much more. So I'm just going to curl my lashes and put some primer on a mascara. For the last step, I'm going to add my favorite go-to nude, and that's Honey Love by MAC. And I'm going to wear a nude on this day. I don't want to have to worry about constantly touching up my lips, so I'll bring this nude. It's easy. If it wears off a little bit, you can't really tell. This is my favorite lipstick of all time. I love it. Make sure that you set everything, and then I'm going to use the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. And that is everything. I hope that you guys found this tutorial helpful and you liked it. If you did, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. It really helps out my channel. Make sure that you subscribe so you don't miss any further videos, and hit that notification bell so that way you can see every time I upload a new video. And until